Alright guys, such Kremp again today. Hope you're doing good and enjoying your day so far. Big roster drama continuing, especially what the Minnesota Rokkr are potentially up to. Another rebrand, it seems, could be coming for them. Big rumours after what Vegas and FaZe are doing over the last 24 hours could be extending to the Minnesota Rokkr as well, and what the future of their franchise looks like. But also, they are trying to build a roster, and a questionable one at that. Zuma says the roster's pretty weird on paper as far as he's concerned. He is not convinced this is going to be a good team. Once again, Rokkr cooking up a stink class. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. Some pretty funny things to start out the video. We're going to begin here with the maps in Black Ops 7. So this is a map that you'll recognize actually from the beta, or not from the beta, but from the trailer, because there's this like wall jump, wall bounce spot that you can use here. This is what the map is going to look like. This is a beta map we think that is going to arrive relatively shortly. Does it look like a competitive map? No, but it reminds me of a couple of maps from Infinite Warfare. Does it remind you a bit of, what was that map called, like Crusher or something? I don't know, I'm getting kind of Crusher vibes from this, but you guys may think I'm faded for that. There's obviously more of a Treyarch theme here. It almost looks a little bit like Frequency, but yeah, it's on this oil rig or whatever, but obviously quite a way into the future. So this is a map called Blackheart, and it's going to be in the beta. Is it going to be in competitive? Doubtful, but again, it's like, you look at map design like this, and I see some symmetry here, right? And I kind of like a bit of that, because some of the recent maps, they've not always been quite to the same extent. Now, what I like about Treyarch, you might think Sledgehammer are the best developers nowadays, and I think I'd be inclined to agree, but Treyarch do still care about competitive COD, and they talk about map pacing, they talk about 3-lane maps, they talk about face-up and gunfight, they talk about medium-sized maps, they talk about how many maps, and they talk about Black Ops 2 remasters, and specifically they talk about the CDL, which is, you know, it's nice to see, isn't it, right? That they at least have some interest and they care, and they also know some of the lore, as we'll see in a second. So on the topic of Black Ops 2 maps, this is what they have to say. You've already seen that Raid and Express are coming back. This is actually another footage of that Raid map that we're going to see. So Raid and Express are for sure in, and they confirm that there will be other maps coming back from Black Ops 2 as well into the pool, and he says would love to see some Black Ops 2 remasters in the pool. One of the ones that is coming back for the first time since Black Ops 2, so that's worthy of note as well, not been remastered since BO2, as some others have, Slums for example, was a competitive map in Black Ops 2, and it was played in search and destroy only, he says, and I'll leave you with that little teaser. And then she says, one of my favourites, I'll have you thinking you're the best in the game. So best in the game, of course, reference to Scump on Yemen, Black Ops 2, when it was like, look at the Yemen scoreboard. You guys know the clip.
They're gonna go, just rotate guys, just rotate, give it up, just give it up.
Alright,
Good job.
Alright,
If you can get that time, that's huge.
Shit,
boys!
is up.
So, thought that was pretty cool to see. So, what maps are they talking about? Clearly, she's talking about Yemen coming back. Now, Yemen was not played in Search and Destroy in Black Ops 2. This was a hardpoint map, of course. But she basically confirms that, yes, Yemen will be back. And I think this was leaked, actually, quite a while ago. This was, I think, a pretty great hardpoint map. I mean, look, the Churchill, by today's standards, would be considered, like, impossible to break. It's funny to look back on, really, because back in that game, you know, you'd be putting trophies down in the Churchill where it was almost impossible to break. You'd be throwing sentry guns in the windows. And yeah, there were EMP grenades and stuff you could use to counter it. Everything had a counter. It was Black Ops 2. But this was a map of Money Hills, right? And I think that it will be interesting to see if this gets played, because I think it was a great map in BO2, but I'm sure that the pros of today and the way that we tend to watch Hardpoint be played today, it wouldn't play the same way on Yemen. So excited to see it come back though anyway, because Raid is going to be probably played in all the modes, Express is going to be played in Search and Destroy. Yeah, we want some original maps as well, but the idea of Yemen being a possibility for Hardpoint, to me that's pretty exciting. But, as Matt Scrons mentioned there, what about the other map that was played in Black Ops 2 in Search and Destroy only? Now, that was true for Express, but we already know that Express is coming back. So, what other maps could that apply to? Now, there's actually a couple this could apply to, right? Now, I know that what you guys are probably thinking, but I'll just start with Aftermath, because Aftermath, are they going to remaster this? Frankly, I hope not. It wasn't like anyone's really favourite map. It did have, famously, the Scum 3-piece, the $20,000 round of Search and Destroy. This was a competitive map for Search and Destroy only. Was it great? No, I wouldn't call it a fan favourite precisely, but technically Aftermath it could apply to. And also quickly say, in early tournaments in Black Ops 2, Cargo, I think, was played in Search and Destroy only. I have, like, so many, like, this is so nostalgic, honestly, looking at Cargo right now. But, this was definitely played. This was definitely played, because I remember some couple of clips that Karma had on this map. So, there were Search and Destroy competitive tournaments played on this map, and it was only played in Search. So, could Cargo be coming back? I don't know. I think the most sensible answer is probably Meltdown. I mean, these are all the legendary BO2 maps here, and many of the ones that arrived in DLC as well. But Meltdown is probably the most likely, because Meltdown has not been remastered since Black Ops 2, although having said that, it has come back clearly in COD Mobile. So, I don't know. I guess you can take it as you will here, really. But this is Meltdown, if you guys are unfamiliar. This, of course, famously was the map that featured the very final rounds of the very final map of the Black Ops 2 World Championship, where Killer won famously the 1v1 against Proofy to take the victory. But this is Meltdown anyway. We've seen it played numerous times in some of these throwback tournaments and stuff, but yeah, I don't think it's been remastered apart from in COD Mobile. So that's where we are in terms of Black Ops 7 right now and some of the other maps that are coming back, so we're going to leave it there for the time being. The other brief update is on when the game might actually arrive, and is it going to be when they initially said, or is it going to be earlier? So we understand the release date is meant to be the 14th of November, but maybe due to factors such as Battlefield coming out and these other things, they may want to bring it slightly up, as it were. So you can either move up or you can push back, and to move up is to bring forwards, or whatever you want to say. Pretty much it could release earlier, and November the 14th would be kind of late for a COD release in recent years. I would like it to be earlier, just because it means the tournament starts earlier, right, and the season starts a little bit earlier, and there's more to discuss. But apparently they may do this. It's not exactly guaranteed, but they may well decide to bring the release date further forward, and that's probably a good thing, right? But I guess time will tell whether they actually elect to do that or not. But let's talk about the other roster update, because with the top teams, we think we know what they are doing. Rokkr are now forming their roster and putting things into place. This is an interesting team if this is what they decide to do. Is it going to be any good? That's a very good question. But according to Ronnie, the current situation for the Minnesota Rokkr looks as follows. Now, they kept Estriel after last year, which I think is sensible. Kenny was going to go anyway. Gio and Nero, while they may be talented players, they may not be in all aspects of their play quite good enough to maintain, especially when the team was looking kind of bad. We understand that, you know, look, they can shoot straight, but decision making, other factors. Kenny clearly didn't really believe that they knew what they were doing on the map for a large part of last season. That was certainly implied in some of Kenny's comments, having left the team. So Estriel did a great job last year on LAG. This year was also pretty strong, but wasn't maybe, he was a bit underwhelming, Estriel, this season, but so was the entire team. But keeping him makes some sense. Now, Kremp, good option, available option. They've gone to pick him up instead, and they are looking at Gwyn and Skies to round out the roster. So, Slasher or Skies. Those were the two ARs, Slasher slow, whatever people say, or Skies. Now, I actually thought Slasher had a great chance to go here. You can debate whether Slasher or Skies are the better options. I can see value in both players. I think that Skies had a very rough season last time out, but apart from that, Skies has been pretty good. He is a world champion not all that long ago. Slasher's world championship came back in 2016, which is going to be a decade ago. Crazy to think about at next year's world championship. So, while I still think Slasher has a lot to bring to a team, and I'm a little surprised at this just because I think Looney as the head coach, him and Slasher go way back. They had success together as players. I thought that could have been a pretty good dynamic, right? To give Looney a bit more, maybe support in that sense, and have Looney and Slasher heading things up from like a coach main AR perspective. I kind of like the idea of that, but apparently he might well stay with the Ravens. Now, of course, Ravens are no longer going to exist, so maybe that's going to be Space Station. That's the rumor anyway. But yeah, Sky's potentially rounding out the team. So it's a weird one, right? And Gwyn, that's the And then Gwyn, of course, that's the key name. And then Gwyn, of course, the key name to mention, because Rookie of the Year in the CDL in his first year last time, but didn't have a great season the most recent year, ended up messing things around a little bit for the World Championship and then for the World Cup, of course, shortly after that. And yeah, player with potential, but we've not seen as much of it as we needed to so far on LAN. This is what Zuma has to say, and I think when looking at it from top to bottom, it's like, well, I'm not so sure this team makes a lot of sense.
Now, what do you think about this team? Kremp, Gwyn, and Skies. What do you think? Bro, it is just such a weird team. It is just such a weird team. I just don't know how I feel about it, bro. I really don't know how I feel about it. You know, I'm a big Kremp fan. I like Kremp a lot. Right, I think Gwyn could be great if he just was like showed certain things, was like had the right people around him. Like Skies is obviously like when put in a good environment. Like I think I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest. This is a weird team, bro. This is a really weird team. Like who's gonna be like I don't know if these guys are gonna be on the same page. I mean, they could be. Sometimes these weird teams work, like weirdly work. But like on paper, bro, it's just not giving. It's not looking scary to me on paper. It's not looking scary to me. Like it's just not.
Again, this strikes me as a very Minnesota Rokkr roster, right? They've pretty much just looked at the market, found who they think are the best players available in each role, and just put them on the same team. And maybe there's belief that this is going to work, and maybe Azuma says, like, you know, sometimes this will work, but it's very much what Rokkr have done for the last few years, and they're going to do it again. And if things don't start to go well, you can immediately see problems emerging here with a roster like this. It's just a little bit strange. Not to say that it's impossible to make it work, but it's very Minnesota Rokkr, and that may be concerning given their recent results. But maybe things will change if Rokkr no longer exist, because as Jake Hale says, who is Rokkr? And we talked earlier today, Falcon's moving to Riyadh, FaZe is moving to Vegas, possibly, and, well, Jake Hale seems to imply that Rokkr also hitting a rebrand. Now, with G2 coming in, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Rokkr as a name effectively die, and for it to be, I don't know, in the same way that it's OpTic Texas, FaZe Vegas, it might, you know, they might be G2 Minnesota or something. Doesn't sound great to me, but it's a possibility. It's a serious possibility as to what they might do for next year. So that's where things stand for now. And tweet your thoughts on all of this stuff, as always, in the comment section below. We talked about that Falcons duo, of course, earlier on today, and Gwyn did win that Rookie of the Year in Modern Warfare 3 over Abuzah, and now he's, we think, potentially on this interesting G2 team for the upcoming season. So very much enjoy your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
I haven't been, but I've done it for like 6 years, cock breath.
Oh shit.
Oh, I
brush
love
your
that
teeth.
one.
Cock
I
breath.
love that one. Cock naked, cock breath.
You like that one?
Unfortunately, I was too busy winning tournaments.
That was a
I've
good
won more
addition.
tournaments than you, douche.
I don't know how.
Just because you've won champs 3 times, you get lucky every year. Good shit.
Yeah.
I'm more
Yo,
consistent.
Sprout is streaming this game with
But you
31,000
L trigger more consistently. That's
Dude,
the only
Ian,
difference.
imagine if I joined Cole instead of him. Holy shit, I'd have like 40. Holy fuck. Actually, think about that. I was their first pick. You were second. Always know that.
Yeah, and who made the right choice? Not you,
Me.
you fuck.
Because look where you ended up. OpTic Gaming. Pussy.
You know, when I leave a team, I don't join back after a day.
Oh my god, get destroyed. You're gonna bring up Envy? Is that what you're gonna go to, you
Yep.
child?
Seems like a pussy move right there.
You child. Then I came back and won us the X Games gold medal. And unreal.
What? Nate Shot won you the X Games gold medal.
Yeah.
Crazy, me and Crim6 were fucking oppers during that event, and you still barely beat us.
You got smoked.
I was playing you like I was playing CS.
Yeah, you smoked us for air.
Oh, you won Strike Zone, ring around the rosy. Wow.
You just Seth, you play for materialistic things. Wow. That's all that event was.
MP40 is the worst gun ever created.
How can you say that? You guys are the ones that say the X Games means
That's
nothing
won a
because there
free
is no
money
money
tournament.
involved.
No money tournament.
You
I
won
play
a
for
booth...
pride.
Seth, you won a booth babe event. Good job.
I play for pride. Wait, what's a booth, baby?
Crazy.
What's
He
that?
wouldn't have had that many wins if I competed in MW3.